lit my candle there for maximum irony because let's talk about stress. Have you ever been in a situation where you are around two people who start fighting? That is one of the most awkward situations you can possibly find yourself in. Because it's all of the stress that comes with fighting with none of, the benefits of getting to feel like you're the one in the right in this situation. You literally just have to stand there and just feel awful. It just feels bad. And heaven help you if they ask what side you're on. Believe me, with parents that got divorced, I have found myself in that situation many, many times. And so my go-to way to appear as uninvolved in the situation as possible is literally to fake that I've fallen asleep. Like literally earlier this week, I was taking an Uber ride from LAX to my place, which is not a short Uber ride, mind you. And I'm also not made of money, so your boy was doing the Uber pool. Technically, it wasn't even an Uber pool. It was a Lyft pool, if we're going to be specific. And during said Lyft ride, the driver and the other passenger kind of got into a major fight.
I'm not upset with you.
Okay, no, I don't know that.
I'm not upset with you. I was upset with you. I would cancel you a long time ago. I don't have to come in and get
but
you.
now you are upset. Now
No,
when you are
I'm not upset.
you
I'm
are
trying to
raising
tell
your voice. You don't have to raise your voice to tell me.
No, but you keep telling me that
I am telling you.
that.
Seriously, if there's ever even just a whiff of drama happening in the car and you look over and see that I'm asleep, I'm not asleep. I am wide awake. I'm desperately wishing I could fall asleep and uninvolve myself in the situation as much as physically possible. Because, okay, look, I know there's a whole stereotype about the kind of person that goes around and says that they hate drama. But as somebody that came from a household later on where there was quite a lot of fighting and drama and shouting, I just whenever I hear anybody shout, I tense up very intensely inside. I just want to cocoon myself. I do not want to get involved. I don't want to take sides. I don't want to hear this. I just want to retreat and go la 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 la. When someone's voice becomes raised, I genuinely become fearful. I don't know, maybe it's a sign of some kind of insecurities, but almost every time, whenever I'm challenged on something, I don't stand my ground. I will immediately back up, back off, and just okay, you win. Okay, have it your way. It drives Susan, my girlfriend, nuts because I'll say something and she'll challenge me on it, hoping for either more explanation or to see if I really believe what I just said. And of course, I'll immediately back off and try and dump that opinion and move on. And then she'll be no, stand your ground, stand by your convictions. And I don't want there to be any. And yeah, obviously there's good things about, being flexible and not tying your self-worth into opinions that you hold at the moment. But there's a balance between that and standing firm in what you believe. And I definitely have not found that balance. And I swear it's a coincidence that Evan Edinger and I happen to be talking about this exact same thing on the exact same day. I just watched that video while I was preparing to set this shot up and was like, are you serious? So if you want even a more in-depth explanation as to what it was like from someone else that feels the same way about, drama and fighting that I do, I definitely would recommend viewing his video. But on a more serious note, my go-to response to anything that stresses me out has been fear. As far back as I can remember, literally, so there used to be this girl in our neighborhood cul-de-sac that Noah was best friends with, and she would come over to our house and play very, very often. Well, for some reason, I didn't just not like her. This girl was literally half my age, and for some reason I was terrified of her. Literally, when I heard that she was coming over to hang out, I would tell my mother that I was going to take a nap and then run and hide underneath her bed for hours. I would just lay there in fear. I thought it was so sneaky about it, though. I remember one time I gave that spiel to my mom, and she laughed, and she said, sure you're gonna take a nap, just like you do every time this girl comes over. And it freaking blew my mind. It just shattered my whole life right there, that I couldn't get away with lying to my mother. So I never did it again. The hiding under the bed, that is. But I tell you all of this, not in like an attempt to be relatable, but a genuine like, this is where I am at this stage in my life, and this is something that I do really want to fix. Because spending so much of your life scared is a horrible way to spend your life. And now I've outlined like 3 different kinds of fear that I have on a maybe not daily basis, but definitely very regular basis. And if I can ask you to like hold me accountable to recognize when I am reacting in fear and to, not, in the first situation where like the 2 people are arguing, to instead of trying to hide away and get away from the situation, to attempt to intervene and find common ground, or at least bring some kind of peace. In the second situation, I think the best way to deal with it is to really like research and form not just opinions, but why you strongly have those opinions, and only hold on to those opinions so that then when you are challenged, you are able to stand your ground and to, have the self-confidence to do so, which is another thing I'm working on. And finally, in the third situation, well, okay, maybe the third situation isn't super applicable anymore. And hopefully you can like relate to what actually, I guess hopefully you can't relate. I would like, it's a good thing if you can't relate to this, but if you have any other like tips for me, please tell me, because I'm genuinely trying to fix this. And now if you'll excuse me, your boy's got to open his windows because it is 1,000,000 degrees in this room, and you can probably tell I am sweating.